Assalamu alaikum, everybody, media. Greetings. Is everybody ready? Do we need anybody to take some more time? Ready? Okay. Greetings to you all. My name is Yusuf Taylor. The spokesperson for Team Gumsabwapa. I'm part of the Joint Civil Society Working Group, which we have a statement to issue today. But before we start that, we would start in prayers in our own way. 1 minute of prayer for a successful press conference today. Thank you very much. Amen. May all our prayers be answered, and may we have a country that we will all be proud of. And that's the reason why we're having this press conference. As civil society organizations and groups, I'll first introduce from my right to the left, other civil society organizations with me on this table. We have Fanta, who is with NYP. Fanta is with NYP. We have Lamin Diba, who is with the Center for Budget and Macroeconomic Transparency. I got it correct this time? Yes, Center for Budget and Macroeconomic Transparency. They do budget work and my colleague from the Activista, Ansumana. Thank you so much also for joining us. Activista is here. We also have WAVE, Women's Association from Victims for Victim and Women Empowerment, right? Yes, the name is slightly changing a little bit, but WAVE. It's not WAVE money for people who may be wondering and watching, right? We have my dear sister Mariama with us also. So we are just going to start off. We want to, before we start, to thank the media, because without you people coming, we sent this press invitation just yesterday. And within less than 24 hours, the media is here, and we are very grateful for that. So I will hand over to my colleague who will read out the statement, and then we will start. Over to Lamin Diba, who will read out our joint statement in English.
Thank you, media. You were on time. Thank you very much for that. Here is the Joint Society Statement and the rule of law in the Gambia. On the Day of Democracy, we are reminded that democratic governance is not a privilege, but a fundamental right. The only path to freedom, justice, and dignity. On that day, the government assaulted constitutionalism and democracy in the Gambia. The Gambia's democracy is young and fragile. For over 2 decades, Gambians lived under the grip of dictatorship. In 2016, it was the courage of ordinary citizens, women and men, young and old, that lawfully brought an end to the dark era. Some paid the ultimate price for this freedom. We honor and remember our fallen heroes and heroines whose sacrifice secured our right to live in dignity and liberty. Yet, less than a decade later, the very foundations of this hard-won democracy are under direct attack. The bitter irony of history is that the individual who benefited most from the people's rejection of dictatorship, President Adama Barrow, is now dismantling the very democratic order that elevated him to power. In blatant violation of the Constitution and the National Audit Office Act, the President has unlawfully and forcefully removed the Auditor General, the head of one of the Gambia's most vital independent accountability institutions. This illegal act represents not only a direct assault on democracy and the rule of law, but also an attack on the sovereignty of the Gambian people. Worse still, the president has turned the police into instruments of repression, weaponizing them to intimidate citizens who exercise their constitutional rights to free expression and peaceful assembly. This is not a mistake. This is not a misunderstanding. This is a deliberate and calculated assault on accountability, transparency, and democratic governance. Why this removal is illegal? The legal conditions governing the removal of the Auditor General are clear and unambiguous. Under the 1997 Constitution and the NAO Act of 2015, valid grounds for removal, as enshrined in the NAO Act of 2015, are as follows. Number one, completion of a fixed tenure of 9 years. Number two, voluntary resignation. Number three, attaining the mandatory retirement age. Number four, proven cases of incapacity, misconduct, or incompetence as determined by either a medical board or a tribunal established by the president. None of these legal conditions has been met. Instead, the president has chosen to act outside the law, as though the Gambia were his private estate. This is nothing short of a constitutional coup, where the executive hijacks independent institutions and subverts democratic checks and balances. Why this matters to every Gambian? If this unlawful action is allowed to stand, no institution or official will save. Not today. Today, it is the Auditor General. Tomorrow, it could be the Ombudsman, the Independent Electoral Commission, IEC, the Chief Justice, the Chairperson of the National Human Rights Commission, NHRC, or the Speaker of the National Assembly. When independent oversight bodies are undermined, corruption flourishes, human rights protections erode, and the nation slides back into autocracy. Our demands for the protection of democracy and the rule of law, we make the following urgent demands. Number one, immediate reinstatement. The Auditor General must be reinstated without delay to complete the lawful 9-year tenure. Number two, lawful process for removal. Should the president seek removal, it must be done strictly according to the Constitution and NAO Act by convening a medical board or a tribunal as required by law. Number three, end intimidation and harassment. The Gambia Police Force must cease all unlawful actions against the Auditor General and any other citizen exercising their constitutional rights. Their duty is to protect the Republic, not serve as enforcers of illegal executive orders. Our commitment to defend democracy. We will not relent. We will not allow the sacrifices of April 10th, 11th students, Dada Haidara, Solo Sanding, and countless other fallen heroes and heroines to be in vain. We will not surrender our hard-won freedoms to creeping autocracy. We will resist using every lawful and peaceful means until the Auditor General is reinstated, due process is respected, and the laws of the Gambia prevail over the whims of individuals. On this International Day of Democracy, September 15th, let it be known, democracy is not a gift from leaders to the people. It is the birthright of the people, defended by their courage and secured by their laws. The Gambian people will defend democracy for the Gambia, our homeland. This is a joint statement by Edward Francis Small Center for Rights and Justice, Team Gomsa Bopa, Solo Sandeng Foundation, Women's Association for Women and Victims Empowerment, Beikanyang, Fantanka, Movement for Social Justice, Think Young Women, Music for Change, and Charter 70. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that statement, Lamin Deba. That statement you just had read is countersigned by 13 civil society organizations, which goes to show you the weight that is added to this and how civil society is speaking together. We will have another the statement read. You can just swap with him so that we don't need to move the mic around. We will have another statement read. These are very serious and salient issues that are happening in the country right now. Very serious and salient issues. We've even seen, even the National Assembly has put out, a matter of the day. All right. And as we see, this thing might even go through a legal process. All of this is going to cost the Gambian taxpayers a lot of money when already we have so many things to deal with. This could all be addressed if the president does the needful, does the rightful. So we will have the statement. Ansumana Kamara from Activista, he is one of the 13 civil society organizations that have signed this statement. And ladies and gentlemen, I now hand you over to Ansumana Kamara from Activista, who will deliver the statement in Mandinka.
Thank you very much, Joseph. Ngamo be kontong itola na media has sol kontong minul kafutam fil yang promuka ko nganna kuma kan funtinde na balambaya anin na liku ko la miyalon ko abetama kan banko kanya tembe diamu kan to mo Ansumana Kamara leti beto kola damen to wala activist di Gambia de kol mu kafol leti minul kafuta kafol kam minta ta fo kafutan ning saba kaje ko nga fundi kadiamu ko la miyalon ko abekire nyim banko kanya anani ku ay kandi bawo be min kono bi kulete mi yalon kon dol bele keleta ko la dum futata jambi ko ton dol be min kele kaje ko kayro nin ten ko sabata nyim banko kanja kaje ko luwayate kuti mi yalon ko wala be kelantaram buloti nimmo kilin wala mo dantang lafta pour mo kawo fundinde kaje ko ka tinya pour mi da mala kunna nafa wala da mala nafa ko nyanda ka ken tolla lodu lalete kaje ko ngaw ko bay to nin kumu nyinne ya sabu ka benjam bi prom ka nyim press conference kuma zeke non ta read la directly baru kuma dantang fundinde mi yalon ko di bay wala read nin angale kamala ko be kala kuti mi yalon ko be fundinde la demanding na statement no kono ja wala mu pour mu kay tandiro ko gambian be nyimmen kono wala mu democracy di wala mu baral nyaati be min kono bi fenneti asekeno Gambia se dindi yano akono bawo sanji sel komanto kata fo sanji tan komanto be tajirente amaralo min kono jang akata kuti mi yalon ko banku jamaay bala fa so Gambia civil society organizational sol kewolu dindin keba bulita pour mu kaje ko e kafu nyoma ko tajirante ya baynim banko kanja do momin natan nafa soto wo bayro nyin kono wala keta banko la nyadon ko di excellency president Adama Barrow barna ni ku yakan ate president kilon nata ke mo kilon to mi yalon ko ndol bega kelo ke ko min kamma kaje ko maral kendo e soto kaje ken na luwa ta ko anyanta kata nyamen ay bulamol kono mi yalon ko ado foundation on o keta kuti mi yalon ko si jambi bawo min keta surtout ka auditor general ka dia ku yato wulindi ala sirango kan ayatara ko mimbe safere na banko la luwa bu ko kono min keta na 1997 constitution oti ani nim flanjam bala national audit act min funtindi wala NO act 2015 wala kuti mi yalon ko ndiro ni siromanta adu nim flanjam farambala nyapi ngom min ka ke foni ke kanka kutilim balol dila ke buninti aga so la ni fundira pour ke la balamba ya itandi ayatara ko na luwa bu ko na be safere nge ko moli nyanto so pour ke la ni ko ani la balamba ya itandi ka polisol kidindi fondin ke wol kan ka tiaga so fa yam yalon ko ama dandulalon wol dol keta kuti mi yalon ko na statement o ya fundinde adu lafta pour mu kay tandi banko la dingol la ko anim mol minul be banta minul ben tibe kan kay tandi la ko nimo kuti mi yalon ko in civil society organization o ya bayle kadu ma carte o fay men na 2016 kadu ko na fali moye ani mimbe kerim bi ni mo kuti bajala ko wol jama se nyinen karo ke mune ya tinna don na ya ko mi bondi ka ya ko ya to wulen di ala palaso kam mune ya tinna don na ndira ko ala bondiro ne silo manda sartol minul be safarin na loi bu ko kono min kada 1997 constitution oti anim min be safarin national audit office la act kono wolo mi la maralam buloti ifanan kam mi jus kaje ko ibe la do ko kala no nyaadi le atare ma loi tinya ko pour muka bondiro ke surtout auditor general la sarta dantam bije minul yalon ko be safarin adun mi kulade mi yalon ka mantare kilis kala so kono adun bondiro nyin kata nyami wo nata ay tandi ko bondiro nyin manke ko keku sarti folo e mingi tandi wala muko ning ayatara ko inyanta pour muka bondiro ke wo palaso mimbe sirin je anyanta ka tarle amari sanji konondo amari nyanta pour muka wala saf ni audit act ni ba ka fa no completion of a fixed tenure of 9 years adu ni auditor general min dia ko yato wulen ala tenure ma wo si folo kele fulan jango min tandi wala muko voluntary resignation wala mun ning afan wulita ko mbedo ko minna nda kala no kotenke ay safiro ke ko ay fonyo ndol ngam mim moy media to aninga mim moy government official la minuli media la interview grant wala mko e ko ye wala tumi ko atata le fo anim president sonta place o minta bari loi bu ko akon ning amari resign ta ado nyimma foko ay fonyo tol ko le ko asondale ay tandi president ko ngapala so nyinta ni o kumol fango jibe wali do man nimba ko mol nyin kono sabanjango mi tandi wala ko ako attaining the mandatory retirement age bawon tol be ngalon ko ni be man sakunda do ko la sanjo le bije ni mari futata sanjo min la do ko manyana katambi no wo sanjo to luwa tandi ko ning atara ko amari futata wo sanjo la ate tambila no hanni atara ko sain amala sanji kono to bang naftaro sanjo la amari nyanda ka jile nani njama min tandi wolem ko ning ayatara ko amari inata min korsala koto bari fana wo medical board le nyanta ka prumu ka wo confirm ko ning asekeno killing asondo mo mantara bala asekeno londo lukari mo mantara bulu prum ka nyin do ko nyin sambano wala kisikisiro dol ke menul yalon ko asekeno molle sita prum kala ko kisikisi nata realize ko abe do ko samba kan nyami mantara samba kan wo nyamo kisikisiro nata recommendation ko nyanda le prum ka bo pala so onon don ngani ko manano bimbi jamba wala be safarin na luwa ko kono andin bu ko ni national audit mara ko ni kata ko ni ya ko masakuna man silota wala Boleh asal untuk milo presiden aning mol minul kafta nyola pour ka audit na auditor general la palaso nyim busi ala ka dia ko yato wulindi imam banko la luwa ko boleh ayana balamba ya itandi be kiliro fonan kala presiden la pour ka ko kanindiro dul kala kanindiro minul yalon ko be demanding folaji ñaato demandé bari fana mun ya na to man ko kumaya pour mu ka dunya be kala mutandi ko luwa di adu luwa ning aya tarako bondiro be kala surtout palaso la miyano ko wala ka kisi roke masa kundala taka ambulo la beteke bangola na fulo ka dum min tole mo jamale na bangola na fulo tinya pour mu kaje ko ye safero ke di tan roke tambia dimola anin masa kundala ka fo ko don ngara ko alsin sim fañale tan ko corruption mo ni la karol ay netel ko mu ka bay aw ko man don do na kan ko wo ke tuti jang ñaan ko ajamo sale ni banko kan jamba jibi era isufu ndira jall national audit office le aris IEC isufu ndira jall investigation o keta masa kunda mo kira namul jodami to pour mu kaje ko yela do ko ka nyamo taxpayers la moni ka dum dami tiñaro ka national audit ñim auditor general min bon wala nan ala mon bulita pour mu kaje ko dunya be ya kalam ta ko ndol kan na fulo min jo pour mu na banko la dirwa polu kaje ko yam be ñim babo kam pour mu ay bo ñim adala mol ñim ala office la mol le bulita pour mu kaje ko banko dimol be wo kalam pour mu falme ke bata min be fon min jawol ka bata min be zoka bata min be gambe dimol be kam pour mu ay bo ike ibadal minister akamal la por sedo duwa min fo kata ni wole ko wata adum jabin kama min kata nyin kan dol ngal min ko wala ko nin dam man kala ase keno nin ni no tambita mbosman office o mano le kile adu wo hono office ko mayre mbale fulan jango iso IEC la office o mano le min kata independent electoral commission la office o di min mo ka ka ko kunya aw exia kami election ya lekon mi la sin sa mi tan no o malo fulan jango saban jango ise hani TV justice fama mano aw ning a tarako mo la nyantul tinyata ki mo la tara je damen to alon ko mo la kata pour mu kaje ko jenna nyantul burum nin ko se mano ani speaker of the national assembly aseke mo timi alon ko afana se plan bulan mo number ko ni a tarako na bangola taram bulo ka fundin na luwa ko min dia ka moyi ni yetol fevo la kunna na fa oda majibe pour mu kaje ko kamol bon kala do tar ko sartol be sa to perdol o le nyanta pour mu ko ngani tigo fana soto ko aseke non ni ngata bita wala ani national human rights commission la chairman isa mano le pour mu ka ko ndala plaso bawo bi ni la nyanta do nya c'est pour mon NHRC le nga foy ko ñinne be kere lafta pour mu ale jibero wodo nin atara ko national audit mano ise national assembly la speaker mano ise ombudsman ta office mano ise independent electoral commission mano le ise national human rights commission mano ko le ati na bawon tol ko be do ko min na wala ma pour mu ka banko di wal nyaati ka banko di wal county ka mo county minu dialo ko man platform mo so pour mu ka diam fundi kanyi tande Gambia dumol la ko min no mo ko di minu dialo ko abi kire lafta pour mu ka kanindir dandan neke dum be lafela pour mu man sakunda president baro ni la mol alsi la mol la ba follow me kanindir follow min kala wala mu the immediate reinstatement of the Auditor General ko nyin ka futani sabo mi yani statement o sign ka safe ka sign kanindir follow min ke wala mu ise Auditor General ya murundi ala palaso sign don dol fana na nyanto lem pour mu ka kanindiro ke nyanto bu ka dane ka kaninne wala ya na be kanindiro ke ka nyina kile immediate reinstatement of the Auditor General fulanjang ning ayatara ko abeto pour mu ka Auditor General bondi ba fole inila moliye ani mol minul ke yamari pour ye murung yeta bukol kono jibe kabon 1997 constitution kono kata for the NAO Act 2015 ko abe safarin ne ko sarto le bi nyanta ka binul ta yewo sarto jibe kilinna ni ba bondi la ya bondi nin silo la bari nyapi ngama manya na ka bondi wala because mbota wala kono adun de murla wo kono sabanyango lafta pour mu ka min kanin wala mu into intimidation and harassment fo auditor general la office lembang ka polisol kije iningi la tiya gasol aningi la jorang bal minul yalon ko pour mu ka mol kijo farande ka dia ko yato wulinde ala palaso kanka fa ko ibe bola jile dia ko ya o nyande ke kulet mi yalon ka nyanda dannale anim fana nim foninke wol funtita ka polisol wulindi kamma kata ke bundin tiya gasola ke arrest ningi pareta yesamba code ka fo ko be bellale ningi parete ka fo ko nyim belo la taymo ko ne manya naka fundi pour ke la balam baya tandi atara na banko la loi bu ko le ko mo be right so le to peaceful assembly ko be nyanda ke kudi mi yalon ko na kalendiro kala pour mu daye kala with immediate effect lafta pour mu kan na diamo kuntunin damin to la wala mo mba ay tandila banko dingol la ko ntol na lo dula mi bi wala mo kaje ko Gambia dingol la da hada dam adun benyin do ko minna anin ayatara ko the civil society be arrest dol ben do ko minna futa bondila futa stop la we are very much committed to this work that we are doing because mbake kam fangolle mbake kan dingolle mbake kan nanyolle ujama be nyim banko ka jammi yalon kon dol ngamira ko wol nyande ke kude pour man so kun na nyande ke nyaatilin damin tola dina kela energy direct towards ka mul dia ko yawul ni la pala sol ka wala be nyim banko ka jam dina jele man so kun na la lon ka nyande ke dole pour moy bank dina ka funding ke wol tilim baliya ke samba ke bondi police station kilin ke sounded la dol to ke bondi ke samba mile 2 ke samba nam pour ke kitindi ni pare de ko ngal bulale ni wo kija faro ni sila makara sila so ari one time solution ate because dalbe do ko men uta danna adon uta bala la barka ba
Baraka Bake, thank you so much for that wonderful statement in Madinka. Very, very well delivered. Sorry about that. But we are going to now deliver the last statement before we open up to the members of the press. So you people will also we've highlighted our commitment. What drives this commitment? In our statement, you hear people who have children making reference to April 2000. Yes, those children inspire us because they were standing for justice. As young as they were, we are inspired by the likes of Solo Senden, who fought hard for us to get this democracy which we have. And in our statement, one of the biggest benefactors is the current head of state who has been in power since the change. Was this what was promised to us? Us as Gambians, this matters to all of us. We all have a responsibility, starting from the head of state to the citizen, to the baby that was born just today. They all have a responsibility, and we have a responsibility to the generation yet to come. This should drive us. Our standing here together, coming together as one, is what we hope should drive the rest of the citizens to make sure that we resist. We will not relent, and we will continue to resist. So we will have the statement read out in Wolof from Fantasane. Fantasane is working with the National Youth Parliament, NYP, who were here in their office and able to deliver this statement. Fanta, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum. Media bi maa leen di nuyu baax a baax di rafetlu seen taxawaay tey parce que biñ leen ooyee démb rek la woon te tey gis nañu fi mu ngi fees ak luñ fee doxtaanee tey moo nag set bu baax te luñ jot a sosi ak angale bëri na trop waaye dinaa ko jéem a gàttal su ko defee jëlaa ko olof ñu mën a dégg lan lañ fi jot a wax comme suma naataango niñ ko waxee rek gis nañu fan yi passé gis nañu président Adama Barrow maanaam government bi ki xam ne si place wala place liggéeykaay mooy ki ñoo ooyee di auditor général ku liggéeyam auditor général bi nag liggéeyam mooy lan mooy gis ne government bi suñ jëlee suñ xaalis yi maanaam suñ fayee suñ lempo ba pare suñ taxi gis ne xaalis bi government dañ leen jox liggéey mooy na ñu jël xaalis bi ñu dugal ko foo xam ne dinañu njëriñ ñun doomi réew mi waaye gis nañ ne président yi government suñ spending xaalis bi office of the auditor général ñooy delluwaat seewaat na xaalis bi fi ñu leen sant ñu dugal ko na dugal nañ ko fa ndax mu ñoo njëriñ ñun doomi réew mi so loolu mooy liggéey National Audit Office te ki wax ni lu ñoo wax mooy government bi au président bi amul right pour génne ko si office am waaye gis nañ ne fan yi ñuy passé président bi génnee na kii ñoo ay auditor général bi si office am amul rek si génnee ko dem na ba jël police yi yóbbu leen auditor office of the auditor general ñu make sure ñu génnee auditor bi by force génne ko si office am pour teg fa keneen lii nekk loo xamante na waa office boobu noonu ñu faa liggéey naxari na doomi réew mi tamit ñun ñi civil society foog naa loolu moo waral suñu teewaay tey parce que dafa nekk loo xam ne neexuñu te daf ñu naxari lan moo tax nag mu naxari ñu parce que teguwut si yoon te Gambia dafa nekk réew moo xamante ne loi moo sarta la ñoo doxee loi dëkki loi la soo da ngaa gis ne président bi koo xamante ne moom moo nekk di number 1 person koo xam ne moo war a protect loi bi mooy ni koo xam ne dafa war a gestu loi bi kooku moo nekk ni koo xam ne tey mu ngi koo yaaxa mu nekk loo xam ne moo tax ñu génn fii tey pour wone suñ naxar as civil society organisations but as comme dëkk bi si boppam emut si génne auditor général bi rek gis neen ne buñ yóbboo foofu demee police yi buñ demee office yi auditor général indi attaque nañ ñoo xamante ne ñoo nekk ndawi réew mi ñooñu nag demuñ sax pour protest dañ demoon foofu noonu pour deliver press statement comme niñ leen ko def nii tey waaye gis nañ leen ne dañ leen arrest am na ñoo xam ne dañ leen tiyagas am na ñoo xam ne dañ leen dóor yóbbu arrest leen yóbbu leen si prison bi am na ñoo xam ne dañ dem koot sax démba ñu béel leen waat lii nekk na loo xam ne teguwut si yoon te ñu ko naxarlu lool as civil society organisations lan moo tax lii ñu gëm ne président bi lu mu def teguwut si yoon parce que auditor général bi soo ko génnee dafa am sarta yu loi bi teg according to suñ constitution bi mooy loi buy doxal Gambia ak NAO Act of 2015 loi bi nag lan la wax mooy auditor général bi soo ko génnee sarta bu njëkk si lii tax nga war koo génnee completion of a fixed term of 9 years mooy juróom ak ñeenti at la war a toog si office boobu noonu pour nga mun koo génnee loolu su demee ba liggéey ba mut loolu rek war nga koo mun a génnee mu kenn nga teg fa keneen ñaareeli sarta bi nag mooy lan mooy voluntary resignation mooy ne auditor général bi si boppam su demee mu gis ne man de mënatumaa liggéey parce que reasons personnel mooy ne bëgg naa bàyyi liggéey parce que wéruma o dama am yeneen soxla mun naa binda office of the president ne man de man maa bëgg a bàyyi liggéey sarta bu ñetteel bi mooy lan attainment of a mandatory retirement age maanaam su demee ba gis ne moom parce que public servant mu nekk sooy liggéey si government bi nguur bi dangaa gis ne soo amee 65 years dangaa gis ne retirement age la time boobu war nga mun a bàyyi liggéey loi bi may na yoon pour nga bàyyi liggéey beneen sarta bi si tegu mooy proven case of incapacity misconduct or incompetence maanaam auditor général soo gisee ne mu ngee luubal office boobu noonu wala ngaa gis ne mu ngee use office bi pour personnel génna ba personnel soxlaam loolu mun naa nekk reason buy tax mun naa nekk lan mooy tax nga war koo mun a génne parce que lim nekk di def teguwut si yoon sarta yooyu la loi bi tegal te yooyu sax su fekkee sarta yooyu moo tax yaa koo génnee benn su fekkee xel bi dem na wala disease of the mind maanaam su fi auditor général su demee ba tollu foo xamante ne xel bi demee noonu mënut a liggéey condition yooyu soo gisee soo ko waree mën a génnee si loolu da ngaa set up a tribunal wala a medical board bi ñooy lan ñooy ay docteur yi ngaa jël pour ñu assess situation am mooy ne ñu xool ko seetuwaat ko seet ndax dëgga àndut ak sagoom pour mun a continuer liggéey bi yooyu ñooy sarta yu tax nga war a mun a am pour génnee auditor général bi te président bi nu mu ko defee ñun à civil society gis nañ ne àndut ak yoon àndut ak dëgga te nu mu ko defee dafa ñaaw our demands mooy ne ñun civil society lañ nekk di laajte président bi mu def mooy mu make sure mu delloo auditor général bi place am parce que nu mu ko defee teguwut si yoon na ko delloo si place am mu liggéey mu continue liggéeyam ñaareel bi lawful process of removal su fekkee ne bugg na koo génnee ñu ngi koo advice ne mu seet sarta yi luñ teg mooy constitution bi ak NAO ak lu mu wax mu make sure mu def loolu noonu su ko defee coow du am waaye fekk mu ngi koo defee neneen rek civil society dinañ am lu ñu wax parce que nu amee droit pour seetu wala make sure constitution bi ñu ngi koo toppa ñun tam civil society ñun as citizens doomi réew mi noonu lañ amee ñun tam right boobu noonu so ñun ñi ko advice tamit to end intimidation and harassment ñu bàyyi ndaw yi ñoo toroxal di leen fekk si yoon yi di leen dóor di leen arrest parce que tegul si yoon te neexut si xol parce que soo leen arresté nga yóbbu leen mile 2 wala nga yóbbu leen court nga dem nga béel leen nga bàyyi leen seen kër yi ñu ngi toog foofu ak tiitaange xamuñ lan mooy xew next so yaa gis ne sa konte ka yaa ngi foofu waaye ñëpp loolu neexut every citizen am pour toog si biir réew mi su weesoo loolu tamit ñu ngi fàttali réew mi ne président bi lu mu def nii lu óoradi la te suñ si taxaw depuis léegi ñu bàyyi ko mu jaala élection ak ñooy ñëw te président bi comme que def na bii mu saf ko te kenn defu si dara am na fit bi ak sañ-sañ mu toll nii mu dem attaque office of the ombudsman parce que loolu independent institution la moom tamit comme NAO ni mel benn ñaar IEC bi ñeme na faa dem attaque ne dafaa génnee forcefully dafaa génnee IEC chairman bi ñetteel bi mooy mun naa nekk sax chief justice bi mun naa nekk sax human rights commission seen chairperson bi wala speaker of the national assembly all these institutions maanaam kaaraange yëpp office lañ yoo xamante ne they are oversight institutions maanaam président bi amul doole pour génnee leen directly waaye comme que def na ko auditor general mu saf ko te kenn defu si dara there is a high likelihood maanaam am na fit bi ak sañ-sañ bi pour dem toppaat ñële pour génnee leen te su ko defee dafaa jaala parce que bii su jaalee rek na leen leer ne beneen dinañ jaala loolu mooy suñ taxawaay teel moo tax ñun tey yu toog fii pour wane suñ naxar ne président bi nu mu def àndut ak yoon te ñu ngi ko wax ne ñun civil society ñu ngi koo bàyyi xel te ñu ngi seetaan te duñ bàyyi yëf yu mel nii muy continuer si biir réew mi su ko defee dañoo génn a wax te suñu jaralee dinañ dem koot parce que loolu la loi bi tëral jërë ngeen jëf.
Jërëjëf Fanta, thank you so much. Just stay seated, and very soon we are now going to open up the question and answer section. But we also want to highlight this brutality from the police is not only limited to activists or advocates. Even journalists like you, we saw how some of you even how many years since 2016 we've been promised change. There have been numerous commissions, independent bodies. This is similar independent bodies. Millions have been spent on this work of these bodies. Guess what? These bodies, like the TRRC, have highlighted how the PRU, Police Intervention Unit, and I'll call them out, have been harassing, abusing, brutalizing citizens, activists, journalists. We've seen it. And until now, crowd control is not moving an inch. Over billions have been spent on security sector reform and the transitional justice process. But what have we from this? So we stand together. Just to reiterate, Edward Francis Small, 13 organizations have signed this to show you our commitment. Edward Francis Small Center for Rights and Justice, Center for Budget and Macroeconomic Transparency, the National Youth Parliament, Activista da Gambia, Team Gomsabopa, the Sandeng Foundation, Women Association for Women and Victims Empowerment, Bekanyang, Fantanka, Movement for Social Justice, Think Young Women, Music for Change, Charter 70. We thank you, and I'm sure we will start taking questions from you guys, so you can direct whoever you want. I'm seeing somebody there as well. Okay, I'm seeing another person. You will direct your question. So we will take these two questions, and then that if you can kindly direct it to anybody, or if you want anybody to answer it, go ahead. Okay. Okay. Your name and media house, just not for me. I know you.
My name is Ali. I work for the.
Thank you.
So, we buy the demands. That's what I can
Can you just come slightly a little bit closer so that the microphones that are here will be able, you don't have to come here, but just come close. I just want to realize, so that the microphone will be able to pick it up easier. But please, go ahead.
So now my first question will be concrete steps that this coalition is prepared to take if the government actually fails to reinstate the Auditor General? That's my first question. And my other question would be, how does these coalitions intend to engage citizens and stakeholders to strengthen public support for its demands that you've made? And the last but not the least question would be, how does the coalition plan to hold accountable for their role in the forceful removal of the Auditor General, and also the brutality that they've been meting on the young people every time they come out to show.
Thank you. That's three good questions. I hope, my guys, have you? Yeah. We had another person. Yeah. You could answer those questions first, right?
Sir,
Yes.
the question you may want.
Yes. You never know. Okay. So, it's okay. Let him. My people are. I know my guys.
Actually, as a group,
Yes.
what we have talked about in terms of concrete steps is public litigation. It's one thing that has come up. Public litigation is one of the concrete steps that we intend to take to get unlawful acts continue. That's one. The other thing is how, if the question is one place, you can how we intend to engage citizens and stakeholders
Public support.
for public support.
Yes.
We are already doing that, actually. We are already engaging citizens. We are engaging stakeholders. So government stakeholders, we do intend to engage them. After the press conference, like I said, should the unlawful act continue, we as civil society organizations will probably take representatives and go meet respective government stakeholders, talk with them. I mean, this is our country. The government's country as much as it is the citizens. So dialogue first, we talk, and then we come to an understanding. If we do not come to an understanding, then we can proceed to public litigation. Now, that is support from the government. That's also a stakeholder. Now, support from the citizens, as I've already mentioned, we are doing that. If you check our social media pages, we keep talking about things that pertain to the citizens of this country, that the citizens of this country must be. Believe me, every single organization you see here, almost every now and then, publishes something on their social media handles or websites that are of high importance, that are of great significance to the Gambian people. We are engaging. The support we need from you is that you engage back. Please be interested. Your lives depend on this. The lives of your children, I mean it when I say this. Every bone in my body, I mean it when I say this. The lives of the Gambian people depend on you, the Gambian people, showing interest in things that the government does. The public funds, how they are spent. Legal affairs, how they are run by the government. Let us be interested. Please show support by being interested in the work that we do. Engage us. If you do not understand, engage us. It is only by working together, the citizens, civil society organizations, and even the government, it is only by working together that we can move this country forward in a harmonious manner, might I say.
So before you move forward, from your explanations, it seems your public support is basically on the literate people, because looking at the fact that you're using your social media. Now I'm looking at grassroots, like the grassroots, those who cannot see that. How do you engage? Because these are some of them are parents.
Yeah, I'll let Ansu take that because their organization, especially, is almost always with the grassroots. So I'll let him take that.
Yeah. So no, it's fine. I think I'll
Yeah,
Yes, please.
the camera is the reason. Sorry, let's just give the camera the and then I will take the police issue when you are done.
All right. So Ali, thank you very much for probing in again. What we want people to understand is that we have different organizations as part of the signatories to this particular document. And we have different strengths. We have organizations here whose strength lies in putting up press statements and sharing them on almost every day on issues that happen in this country. We have organizations that are also good at social media campaigns, but also we have organizations that have grassroots structures and they are almost every day out in the field. As I speak to you, Activista and a few more organizations are already having a caravan on climate issues. We have a project that works on issues around civic engagements and how young people can be included in civic space matters. So our mode of operations is not only focused on targeting the districts. We reach out to almost every corner and every person in this country using the radios and also using community engagements to ensure that people understand what is happening in the Gambia. And our current project is on issues around the shrinking civic space. So we have a lot of work around that end as well. So it's not just focused on the elect and also on the social media as well.
That question.
Yes, the police. I will answer that one. Am I okay here where I am, or do you want me to swap? Huh? Must swap. Yeah? They want me to swap. My people. Okay. I cannot get everybody to swap, and me I don't. So I must comply. Okay. Thank you very much for that very important question. Like he said, 13 different organizations are here. Gumsa Bopa, and I will also add, amongst this group are groups who are ready to protest. That's also another mechanism. Obviously, like a coalition, we have to act together, but we have different capacities. Amongst this group, Gumsa Bopa, I'm the spokesperson. For example, we were the victims of police brutality of late. Some of our members have gone through it. We took our complaints to the NHRC. This is not the first time. We have been struggling with police brutality, and we have been trying our best to address them. The first time where we had something concrete come out of it was the issue of Gorgimbub, God bless his soul. But unfortunately, we all know what happened when he assaulted a young man in his custody. And when I myself and my colleagues, we started pressuring, forcing the NHRC, bringing complaints, there was something that happened. He got reassigned, even though we were not happy with it, because we felt that why send him all the way to somewhere, Parafeni or Basse or wherever, and away from here? Are you saying that he was better than there? But that was not the only one. Chipai, a rapper, who was assaulted by some few police officers. They jumped on him. Myself again, and my colleagues, Gumsa Bopa, we took the matter to the NHRC. And what we've done again, if you see, the last time when we were brutalized, we went twice to the NHRC to report police brutality to them. And like my colleague said, we also consider legal action. There is a Prohibition and Prevention of Torture Act. We encourage citizens, anybody who has been brutalized by the police, reach out to us, Gumsa Bopa. We will take you, hold your hand and take you to the NHRC and make sure that there is complaints. Let them hold them to justice. It's not going to happen by us just going on social media and complaining that somebody brutalized us or this human police brutality. Journalists, go to the Gambia Press Union, because the police brutality is not only for us as citizens. So the two things that we have done and will continue to do. Yes, go on, please.
Are there any plans for you to also engage police senior management because some of the time it's people who many are junior.
Yes.
So are there any plans for you to meet them to also chart a way forward, to ending some of this?
One of our colleagues, they do work with the police. the transitional justice process. We urge the government to play their part, but we also, as civil society, we are playing our part. And it touches exactly this. One of them is here. She will be able to speak for herself. Come, let's take my place, please. Let me explain. Enough questions, huh? You have to leave your colleagues. You're adding additional let's get the media. You got some of us you can ask me.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mariam JCC, and I work with Women Association for Women and Victims Empowerment. So to add on to what my colleague was saying in terms of the Anti-Torture Act, because WAVE is working specific on that area, and just a few months ago, in June, we had training of different police from PIUs from different area in the Greater Banjul area. And we are also trying to extend this project, especially with the current happenings. And when we are talking about the transitional justice process, we cannot talk about really achieving the never again with all of these things happening. It's as if we're still going back to the same 22 years of where we actually struggled to come out from. So we're actually having series of engagement, series of training specifically for the police and other security sector officer. And that is also really working together with IGP, which is actually the head of the institution. And that is some of the engagement that we are actually looking at. But to also to add on with the current happening, a lot has happened, and separation of power is one of the key things we have to fight for. Who is holding who to account? We all have a voice. The citizens, we always say, are the watchdog of the government. And if we sit down on this issue and not say anything about it, it's going to happen, because that is how we started during Jammeh era. So we're not going to just sit down and fold our hands to just allow these things to continue to happen, when till now, those victims of the past regime are still living without reparation, without accountability, without justice. And this same happening is still happening till date. And part of this 13 civil society organization, as has been said, we all have our strengths. We all have our stronghold. Some have active strength when it comes to working with youth. Some have strength when you're working with women on different areas and different capacities. And we are really engaging grassroots and not just leaving it to the Greater Banjul area through various platforms like radio programs, TV talk shows, and also making sure that it doesn't just end at the media level, but strategic engagement with key stakeholders who have active role to play to influence some of this decision making. And I hope that kind of answer your questions.
Okay. I had a question. Can you just come a little bit closer, my dear, just so that the mic will pick you up? Just you don't have to be on camera. You don't have to be on camera. Okay. Then just lift your voice. Okay.
I am actually that allowing me. Beyond issuing statement, how does the coalition plan to mobilize safeguard democracy and resolve as resist what you describe as a going threat to the law?
All right. You want to answer that?
Just direct
It's for Someone wants to comment.
Because when I see the flyer, it's here that I'm a threat to the law. So I want to know how to mobilize.
Yes, so quickly I will step in for him. Excuse us for that. So I was talking to him. There is a plan for what we call the National Youth Convergence. During the impasse and even before the impasse, Vista used to work with its affiliates at the time to do this called the National Convergence on the State of the Nation. So there is a plan to bring it back. Last time was during the impasse, we were at GPI. When things were really, really tough, we invited an official and the then late youth minister Salah came on behalf of the coalition. So we did series of engagements with different key stakeholders. I think after we did it once, I think in 2020. And since then, we've missed doing it. So what we do is to mobilize people from all over the country. At least youths are mobilized from every region in the Gambia, gathered at one place to work on a position paper that is submitted to different government stakeholders. So we will invite people from the IEC, since we are very much close to the elections and we don't even know what lies ahead of us. We will invite the IGP if he's going to answer to our call, so that he can have direct interactions with the organizations that are seated here, including other movements as well. We will also invite people from, probably we can even invite the president. If he's not able to come, he might send a representative to come and have dialogues with these groups. So these are some of the things that are currently in the pipeline, and hopefully, if things goes as planned, we will definitely have this in under a month.
Put in place.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Just to add on, sorry, Flex, let me just add on, because he actually spoke on some of the things in pipeline. To also make it clear that these are some things that have planned to happen, but ongoing, there are so many initiatives at regional level, at local level, that are actually strategic, to actually engage youth, to really understand what the national development, how they can play active role when it comes to the overall transitional justice process of the Gambia, how they can contribute to non-occurrences at different local level. So if this is looking at the national level, at local level, a lot of engagement is already going on by different civil society organizations that really engages you to become active agents of change in the country.
Thank you. We have another question here.
Thank you very much.
You can direct it to whoever you feel like.
Yeah, it's open.
Okay.
Yeah. I am Abdullah Dabo from West Africa. Considering the work of public service, I want to know whether the group will be ready for really that international partnership. World Bank, IMF, and most of these government reform agendas, most of the activities are funded by this people that are voting for the who tell them or how the funds are spent. So I would like to make it pressure.
Yes.
Sorry. This is
Absolutely.
Yes,
Slap the mic.
Absolutely. In fact, you know, this is not, it's not even whether we are going to do it or not. It is, we must do it. We must do it, because the reason we must do this is because, and of course, the international community is a major stakeholder as far as the Gambia is concerned, especially when it comes to the affairs of the government, when it comes to the civil society organizations. So to answer your question in short and elaborate a bit more, yes, we will reach out to international communities. We will definitely do this. I'm sure they are aware of it, but we'll reach out to them as a collective group to make our discontent in regard to this issue to them, so that they can join us in this fight. Now, the reason international communities are important and the reason they hold power is because even when you look at our national budget, now please guys, listen to this very carefully. When you look at our national budget, the international communities, foreign governments play a huge role in funding our national budget. Here is the thing. There is a chance that the government may not listen to the international community. If they are wise, they would listen to the international community. Or the international community will side with the Auditor General. But there is a chance they may not side or they may not listen to the international community, because the international community funds majorly our development budget, as opposed to the budget that is for government officials and their expenditures. So the government officials and their expenditures depend mainly on our tax revenue to fund themselves. Their travels, their salaries, their allowances, they depend on our tax revenue. And they leave our development budget to international community, foreign governments. If the money comes, so be it. If it doesn't come, we are doomed. And even when the money comes, sometimes they will not reveal it to us. So this is the thing. Why I'm saying they may not listen, because our development, but it is our development budget as far as funding, financing is concerned. Others may talk on other aspects, but as far as financing of our country's initiatives is concerned, it is our development budget that matters to the citizens more than the recurrent budget. But our development budget doesn't matter much to our government. I don't think it does. If it did, it would be developed by now. So since our development budget is financed by the international community and the government doesn't care about it, they may not listen to it. But if they are wise, they will listen to the international.
As in the government.
The government, yes, I am advising the government to listen to the international community. In fact, I am advising the government directly, not indirectly, to reinstate the Auditor General. Simple as that. Lawfully reinstate him to follow the laws of our country. Simple as that. The Constitution, the National Audit Office Act. That's the main advice I am giving to the government. Thank you very much.
Okay, just to let you know, we do have other organizations, international organizations who are outside the Gambia. You know, they are also following what's happening in Gambia. We're informing them because they are our partners. I don't need to call all their names, but we do have them. And they are, you know, you see them whenever something happens. You will see African Rising, you see Yanama, you see these organizations. They actually write about what is happening. Wadamos, thank you. Afriki, there's a list. I know if I start, I will miss some. And I don't want to miss some. That's why I didn't want to. But just so you know, to add weight to your question, when we say international partners, let's not also just focus on the donors. Our African international partners are also have a huge impact as well. So was there any other question? Anybody has any questions? Is that it? Journalists don't have any more questions? There's, okay, one, and then two, you guys can come after. Okay, can you come just a little bit closer? So, yeah, the mic. It's just for the mic. You just come a little bit closer. You don't have to show on the screen if you don't want. It's okay. I just want so your question will translate into the mic a little bit so that the people.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone.
Thank you.
My name is Mr. With regards to the like, I feel like the army also is a threat now, considering the presence of the military army. During the court year, the last court year, there was a visibility of the military people around West area. So I feel like these are all things that they too, at any moment, can step into some of this. So, what light or maybe what step or advice did the group have? But away from that, I was maybe from. I would also want to know if there are any formalities, maybe guiding some of your demands to the government. Because, like, generally, talking about the government is too broad. Who is going to take that responsibility upon themselves? You have the Ministry of Interior, you have the IGs, the IGs office and all that. But like, what approach are you taking in ensuring that?
So he will take the second question with regards to who is it being directed and the steps we'll take, and then I will take the first one when it comes to the security sector reform and the presence of the military at times. Can you, Lamin Diba, if you can just answer the second one?
You mean which right now the key government institution that we have considered so far is the courts, the high court. It's just, oh, okay. Yeah, as far as in terms of who they are directed to, obviously, when you look at the press statement, it's already there that we are talking to the president of the republic. So if we will write definitely to the government, to the office of the president, specifically to the office of the president, so that he will see our demands and act upon them. But aside from that, the other government institution that we will reach out to. You remember when I was answering a question, I talked about stakeholder engagement, reaching out to the government, talking with them, making sure that we resolve this issue without any fight between the civil society and the government. Obviously, the State House is involved, the police, the Gambia Police Force is involved, the National Assembly is involved because they are the lawmakers. The National Audit Office, in fact, should come to the table. So these people, these respective people, we would like to bring together, have discussions with them, find a way out. That's one way. Our statement will be sent to the president's office. The other thing, last resort, public litigation. Obviously, we will go to the courts for that. Hopefully, we will not reach that. But if we must, we will. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, and let me answer the second question. We just swapped. Let me get the first question, sorry. And just before I get to your question, I just wanted to highlight that most of us here, as for me in particular, I don't know Modu Sise. This is not because we believe Modu Sise is some special savior. No. But whoever is the Auditor General is brought into that place according to the law, and they can only be removed in line with the laws. And the person who got in there, who we recognize officially as the Auditor General, according to us, right, is Modu Sise. Not because of his anything special, but because of that's the role that he has gone through due process to be given that role. And due process can only be used to remove him from that role. To answer your question with regards to the Gambia Armed Forces, yes, as you know, they say the Gambia is what, 5th most peaceful country, right? Or 4th? Yes, we're doing very well, but we still have an invading force in the Gambia, who we, of course, invited, right? Which is ECOMIG. Yes, you see, and they're still here. And every now and then, even if you look at those army people that you're talking about, you will see they're wearing different badges of different countries. And that is what we have here in this country. Now, does it really look like, according to what you see, does it really look like we really need all that military presence? This is a sign that our security sector reform has not worked, or it's not being successful. Because no matter what, even if it's not all of the ECOMIG should leave, by now most of them should have been phased out. And their presence, you will not be asking me that question as a journalist, because that's what you observe, right? We don't feel like we want to stay in a police state or a military state. Being 4th most peaceful country in Africa should be seen, visibility. We should have that feeling, right? And not just the army, also the police, the brutality which we are feeling. So I know these are issues which we are seeing, but what we are saying is pretty much the same thing. The change that has been promised Gambians, one of them is security sector reform. Because to secure the current president and bring him in place, ECOMIG had to come in. And until now, they are still here. How many years on? All right, so I think it's very, very clear that a lot needs to happen, right? So, but we are reminding this government to go back to the drawing board, to implement the recommendations, the SSR, the transitional justice, the CRC, all of those monies that have been spent. And this is why some of these things are not showing. I think, so you journalists don't have any more questions. So we have 2 questions. Killer is, I think, is it a statement or a question? Do you want to comment? It's a question, go ahead.
Yeah, so
yes, and then
yeah, so basically, morning or afternoon, everybody.
Yes.
My question is more on the unity of different civil society actors coming together, which is a good look and has been lacking in Gambia, which is the collaborative effort, of people who do similar things in different areas, have the same agenda. So do we look forward to seeing this being a continual thing, or is it just a reactionary group, for a particular moment? Because the beauty of even the flyer having different logos, right, irrespective of what your organization is, that's beautiful look. As somebody who is an advocate myself, and also is a part of group cover, it's something that we should be encouraged. So is this a one-time thing, or do we look forward to seeing something like a bigger coalition?
Okay. Given that, wait, don't go. Given that you are one of the partners or the president of one of the groups on those logos, can you say your commitment, and then we can extract what's your commitment to keeping this going?
I have to answer my own question.
Yes, no, and then yes, and then you will come. What's your commitment? What's your commitment?
So initially, I was not even acting as president of Gumsubo. I was
Yes,
just a normal
yes.
advocate who would love to see the
Yes.
unity, But as Gumsubo,
Yes.
this is something that we've definitely tried over the years. It wasn't the best. Like one of the most recent, or not recent, but 5-6 years ago, the Dafaloy protest at Westfield. We tried to incorporate different civil society, let the press statement, let others handle the logistics. Even though when things really got hot, a lot of people backed down, right? And it didn't go as planned, but there were efforts. With the April 10th, 11 victim commemoration about 3 years ago, I remember you specifically coordinated all victim-oriented organizations under one umbrella, and we collaborated in doing that April 10th, 11 victim during Ramadan, I believe, a couple of years ago. So there has been a history of like when activities happen, we do tend to collaborate. But I'm looking more of a union, a confederation, level that is more consistent than not just activity-based.
I think you speak for me. So now I'll allow somebody. We are all part of it.
But I'm just like,
So I'll let me just switch over.
So I think of course as a head of an institution as well, I think I can vouch for my own budget and macroeconomic transparency that we will always look for ways to form a union. We'll always want to be part of this confederation that Sam has mentioned. We are open to collaborating with all civil society organizations at all times on matters that are relevant to the Gambia, that are especially relevant to our domain. And our work, as Mariam can attest to it, has always been centered on that, to making sure that we collaborate with civil society organizations. We work on the budget and the economy, majorly. Last year, we wanted to form a consortium with other civil society organizations to assess the budget when it came out, to make sure that we assess it thoroughly and make our complaints known to the National Assembly so that when they are passing the budget, they consider our recommendations. We worked towards that last year. And this year also, we are planning on doing the same thing. And this group, the idea of this group actually came out of an existing group already. And if it weren't for that group existing in the past, probably this may not have happened. So I can speak for my organization. I can also speak for NYP and also WAVE and also Activista. No, I haven't forgotten. Activista and even Askanwi and also Team Gomsobo. I can speak for all of them that are here and others that are here as well. I can speak for a lot of them that they are always open to collaboration. One thing that I would say is that for us to maintain, as he has mentioned, for us to maintain this confederation, this union, we must not base it on money. That if funds are not available, we cannot do it. If funds are not available, we cannot do it. This has been the mantra of most organizations for obvious reasons, justified reasons, obviously. But we must not base the union on money. If we do, it may not hold. So what I would say is let's depend on our Gambianness, let's depend on our patriotism, and let's depend on the fact that the Gambia can only move forward through unity. If we have these in mind, I think any confederation we form will hold and will make an impact.
Thank you. I think we have the last stated question. Please just come a little bit closer so that the mics pick you up. If you don't want to show, you don't have to. Somebody.
Good afternoon. I have more of a statement, but answering questions as well. The last press conference I attended, I saw a coalition. That is Gala, Edward Francis Small, and Gumsaboba.
Yes.
And today, Gala is upset. You see, we have to be consistent on fighting corruption. And we have to understand we're not looking for the media hype or the money, like you mentioned. And I want to remind you too that litigation is important, but we are living in a government that was not that's the rule of law. But at some point, going out to the states is the only answer, is the only question they can answer. It's the only time they can take people seriously. What I want to urge all of you to do is to keep up the pace of consistency. I don't know why Gala is upset, because they have the hype. Right? We need the people's support. And Gala at some point has influence and comes up to these societies that are here. I'm just hearing them now. Right? I know I'm not media consistent, but then at some point, I'm just getting them now, nevertheless. But what I know is we have to be consistent in fighting corruption. And we don't need different civil societies organizing protests because you are exhausting the same people. For people like me, I don't hold back when it's protests. I just come out all the time. But it causes fatigue. All right, Gala calls out, we go. Those who calls out, we go. And these are the same people in the country. We don't need that. All we need is the corrupt government to be straightened. Simple as that. And there are people that are granted bail. I'm one of them, 23. And 4 other people that are arrested are granted bail. It's a sign of silencing people. And at some point, I don't think litigation will save us. What will only save these people is we come together, do proper sensitization, be strategic, and come out with full force. We have to hit the streets so as to the government to drop these charges. I don't think they've answered to Gala petition, called this conference at the conference center, tried to negotiate or whatever, but then you still hold us in chains. So it's not going to help anybody. All we need is consistent. I will call on to Gala if it is important, if it's worth the trouble, let them come and join the coalition. We need everybody in the house. We need everybody together, and let us fight this corruption together. That is the only way we can fight the government. I've seen many recent posts of NPP. This is what they want. Youths among themselves tearing upon themselves, like this one fighting this one attacking. We don't need this. We have a government in place that is disturbing all our lives. Just come together. This is no time to divide. This is no time to be in fracas. We just need together. We just need the unity right now. This is the most time we need it. The only time we can fight it is now. It is now more than ever. It is only you, the coalition, and the people that are following that can solve this problem. So let us just put our differences aside and understand what we have at stake is corruption and the abuse of rule of law. And this is the only thing I want to add.
Yeah, I wanted to add on that because you mentioned something that is very important. You know?
Sorry, by the way, he's one of those that was taken to management.
Yeah, I recognize his face. Yeah, the reason I do is because I'm also more like part of Gala. Actually, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there are Galas here. We are representing organizations, but we are all Galas. You know, if you look at it, I can attest for yourself. I can attest for Asmana. You know, we've been part of the project. But the reason, there are some organizations that are doing great work here. I don't need to mention their names that are not part of this group. It doesn't mean that they've been excluded. Like I said before, this group, this consortium, you know, sometimes these things happen out of urgency. You know a group, and then you go to that group, you talk with them. So anybody who is part of that group becomes the person that would be included in the fight. And all others will not be included, not because they are excluded, but because you resorted to that group. And that group only consists of the people that are there. So I said earlier on that, you know, this consortium was bought out of an already existing consortium called the Working Group on Transparency and Accountability. Yeah. So, and in that group, some prominent organizations are not there. That is why it was limited to that. But we would definitely, you are absolutely right. As I keep mentioning, unity, unity, unity. You are absolutely right. We are Gala. And we will love to work with Gala, and not only Gala, all other civil society organizations, and all other civic actors, all other organizations. We love to work with them because the thing is, it is a fight against corruption. It is a fight against unconstitutionalism. It is a fight against unlawful behavior. And I think every citizen, every organization, every institution must be behind that, right? Yes, absolutely.
I just wanted to add,
Yes.
so just let me wrap this up. I just wanted to add that you're absolutely right. You know, our rights are non-negotiable, honestly speaking, and our division is strength for the government, and that is not something we want to see. That is why we're trying as much as possible to ensure that something that every civil society, even Gala, is part of. And like you said, we are default members of Gala, by the way. Also to state that sometimes it's good in advocacy to exhaust all the measures you have. So going to court is one of them. The reason is we do not also want to, fall, victim. The government will say, okay, you do not exhaust your remedies. I mean, the remedies you have, or you did not engage so and so stakeholders. So it's important to go to court because we want to exhaust all the remedies you have at your disposal as civil society when you're doing advocacy. So going to the court is one way because if you get, a court order or court, judgment, at least it's safe to say that you've exhausted all your remedies. So if you go out on the streets to protest, that means you have a valid reason, a valid cause, because you've exhausted all the avenues you have so far to protest. So I think timing and strategy, thinking strategy in society is important. So that is why we're taking all these necessary steps. But definitely going after the streets is something, I mean, it's seemingly the language government is here. So obviously, yes. But we're just trying to exhaust all the arguments we have.
Time is.
So reflect. Let me add. I just want to inform him that Gala is a movement. It has a leadership, and the membership is not just limited to the leadership. You have people from other organizations that are registered with both the AG chambers and the National Youth Council, whose members are part of Gala as a movement. Remember when the protest was happening here, there was a protest in Sierra. I don't know whether you saw that. I was the one in front. Maybe you didn't recognize me. When the protest happened here in Westfield, the bigger one, I was there too, and my members from my organization were also there. So Gala is a movement. It's not registered. It's a movement. I think you understand. If you understand the concept around movements, that is how they are built. So they have memberships from other organized organizations that are registered. So that is how we operate. But this group that is here, we have members of Gala. We have members that are affiliated. Or let me say they are subscribed to Gala's idea and they also join their activities. But they belong to activists. They belong to CBMT. They belong to Team Comes and Papa. They belong to WAVE. They belong to NYP. This is how we operate. But we are all the same people, and we are all fighting for a common cause. What we just don't want, and we are not accepting, is to go back to what happened in 2016. And we are very committed to that.
Time is. We have very little time.
Yes, so it's just
Okay.
a confirmation. Like, you did mention of some certain, have been great, but they are not part of this. And regarding Gala, just like Gala is a movement, like other movements, I don't think Gala even need to be, anyone who is against looting assets or corruption should be part of it. Even us journalists are Gala members because except
Okay. I think we get your question. Okay.
There you go. There you go. We are.
So that's the question. Invitation. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Hello. One house. We want to conclude. Hello. Yeah, no, the noise. I'm talking about the noise.
I know that as a movement. I understand the concept of movements. Yeah. I myself am part of that too. I know that. That's that aside.
The fact that they're not
representatives, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. We need representatives from the ground. This is what people.
Yeah, but
He's here.
Yeah.
No.
You are okay. Go ahead.
So wait.
No, what I'm saying is the presence of the representatives of God, executive of God.
Yes.
That's my concern.
Yes.
That's the language you understand. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yes. So
these movements, I understand everything about movements.
Yes.
I go out myself. I constantly, right? And my people are there too. What I'm saying is, Gala as like the executive, the representatives themselves. We need them, right?
Yes.
To be part of this. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
So just hold on. To kill two birds with one stone. The gentleman asked about
Ask the
invitation.
same question, yeah.
Did we send an invitation to Gala? If not, can we explain that and confirm that would be done? So no, I know. Just one, please wait.
No, he's. Don't worry.
This question is very. He said organizations, but I know what I'm saying. So just try to also use that to answer the gentleman's question.
Yeah, I already. Regarding your question, it is very valid actually, because we've been talking about unity, and then obviously this question makes the fact that we've talked about unity makes this question very important and relevant. Yes, we've reached out to other organizations. Have we reached out to all civil society organizations? No. But we've reached out to other organizations that are not part of the consortium. And it wasn't because they didn't want to be part of the consortium, because sometimes you have commitments. At the time that this happened, they had other commitments. And equally important as what we are doing right now. So I won't say we reach out to them, they refuse or anything, but we reach out to other organizations. And then now, this thing that what is important is how do we move forward? Because what you guys have raised here are not only questions, but important points that we must take note of. How do we move forward from here? That is, how do we collaborate from here? You've mentioned Gala. What should we do? What should we take from this? We've answered your questions, of course, but more or less thing we should take from this is we should reach out to Gala.
Have we?
We should from here, going forward. We did not reach out to Gala, by the way. We did not. Like I said before, this consortium was born out of the Transparency and Accountability Group that already exists. And that existed before Gala came into place. So you understand?
Okay.
So that is why some of the organizations, I've already answered this, some of the organizations are not part. But from now onwards, we'll reach out to Gala. We should reach out to Gala. We'll reach out to other civil society organizations. We should reach out to them to make sure that we enlarge, we expand the consortium. It's not fixed. It can be expanded. And other organizations can.
No, sorry. I'm sorry. Hold on, guys. Can I? Yes, just hold on. You will come. Just allow me to check. Yes, hold on. If I'm going to be the one to allow you to come, you know I will not deny you. So now we'll just hold on. Because everybody wants to say what they want to say. I'm going to do this. He was the one who came first. Right?
Executive Director.
And then you also have something to say.
Center for
right?
Budget.
And then you have something to say. The same thing to say. Wait, can you agree? Who is going to say?
After I'll give you my one.
No, but you know, you say your one, he say his one, and then he say his one.
Yeah, I know.
So what? I want us to do it.
Let him start.
Go on, please.
Okay,
Time is going.
Yeah, he has the comment.
We are withdrawing.
Yes.
Any organization, we are journalists, we are part of any other thing as a journalist, we are doing our jobs. Okay. We withdraw the statement from what let him say. Maybe let him say to me,
No, that's fine. Okay. Is that all you have? So what do you have to say?
So I just
Wait, please. Let's have one house. Please.
Esther.
I just wanted to share a comment here, a quick one. I know we're running out of time. There's something that I want all of us to have in mind, even those that are not in this building. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We need to have that in mind. We've come from a time where some of us will not be able to have the guts to stand up and speak up. We're able to do this because all of us together came and have a common front to be able to fight everything else today. And I believe we don't want to go back to the same thing. That's why we are talking having now and then to ensure that injustice is happening, does not continue, so that we'll be able to support and enable impunity. This is something that I want us to have in mind. Whether it's Ghana or not, we all have our strengths in different capacities. We have a group that is very good in mobilizing, but we have groups that are good at organizing. Together, we'll be able to complement each other's efforts to be able to have a strong force and attain what we want. Whether Ghana is present or not, our works are all geared towards one thing, and that is to fight against corruption and also to stop adding on the list and numbers of victims of this country.
Exactly.
Thank you very much. That's the.
We not throw this into a conference.
Yeah, no. It's. I'm the chair. So now that's it. I think everybody has asked questions. We don't have time. We don't have time. I actually have somewhere I have to be at 2:00.
Yeah, he's just one.
Well, somebody.
Last, and
No,
then
we don't have time. We don't have time. It's over. The press conference is now over. I have somewhere I have to be. Right? So thank you guys. I'm very grateful, members of the press, for coming. Just the closing remarks is that, please, we need all of you on board. We need the media. We need everybody to play their part. We need citizens. We need civil society. We need to come together, all of us, right? And I just want to highlight, just to respond to my colleague, just to respond to him so that he realizes. We were together, the three of us, Edward Francis Small, Gala, and Gumsa Bapa. We were together in this coalition, right? Now, here we are. Gumsa Bapa is here. Edward Francis Small is also here, right? Only Gala is not here. But what are we doing? What we are doing here is answering to the call of Gala. Because of they are the ones who actually initiated going there, and they had a press conference, and we've all seen what has happened. So we are furthering their action, and I believe that they should be part of this, and I'm sure we will reach out to them. This is not just about one person, like I say, Modu Sisi. It's about what are we doing. It's about the action that we are taking. And when we do it with purpose, like today, we stand a better chance. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Time is running out, and we'll please share the information and reach out for our press statement. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Please, participating organizations, please, the consortium, please, can you stay? Each representative from each organization, CSO, please stay. Not the media, just the representatives from CSO. Please, can you stay? Center for Budget and CBMT.